Welcome back students to the another topic, that is the new kings and kingdom. In this topic we are going to learn the regional developments. We will see the rise of new kings and kingdoms during medieval period. Among them Gurjara, Pratiharas, Palas, Rashtrakutas, Chauhans and Cholas. These were prominent kingdoms. We will see their administration, their economy and social life, architecture and literature of this time, and we will also see the Turkish invasion. Well, invasion means attack. Some Turkish or Arabian people attacked on our country with their huge armies and destructed everywhere. We will have the information about Muhammad of Ghazni's invention and Muhammad Ghori's invention. And we will also see the important role of Prithviraj Chauhan during this invention. During this period, there was totally political instability and uncertainty because newly established kings wanted to dominate other kingdoms and wanted to spread their empire all over in India. Foreign invasion also played important role in the political instability. Our first topic is emergence of new kingdoms in northwest and central India. In the 7th century, there was a rise in the group of chieftains. The chieftains means landlord or were called as samantas or subordinates. They work under the domination of the kings. They may have some regions to protect. In order to protect the region which was given to them, they had to keep army and collect revenue from the people of the concerned region and give it to the king. In returns, they could get wealth and amount and new regions or land grants by the kings. But in the course of time, they became prominent and asserted their own independence. They established their own kingdoms. Among them, we can see the example of Danti Durga, who defeated the Chalukyas and laid the foundation of the Rashtrakuta dynasty in the south region of our country. On the other hand, we have another example of Gurjara and Pratihara, who gave up their traditional occupation and successfully established their kingdom in the region of Rajasthan. Our next topic is the tripartite struggle. Well, why it was called tripartite struggle? Because it included the struggle of three different kingdoms for the domination over Kannauj, which was strategically and economically very important region. Well, Kannauj's strategic position fostered trade and commerce, and the high fertility of soil encouraged agriculture and growth. Therefore, all new kingdoms were equally interested in acquiring control over Kannauj. During medieval period, three prominent kingdoms wanted to have control on Kannauj and were involved in tripartite struggle. They were Gurjara Pratiharas of Malwas, the Rashtrakutas of Deccan and Palas of Bengal. They wanted to establish their supremacy over Kannauj, and this event is described by the historian as the tripartite struggle. But this struggle became the reason for the decline of their kingdom. Because of the constant struggle, their power became weak. Let's know more about these kingdoms. The Gurjaras and Pratiharas. The Gurjaras and Pratiharas established their kingdom in the western and central part of Rajasthan and the part of central India. It is their location due to what they could stop the Arabs' invasion. In the beginning, they were local officials, but later on they became the ruler, the kings of this area. This dynasty had seen many powerful rulers. Nagbhatta first founded this dynasty or established this dynasty. Afterwards, Vatsaraja and Bhoja became kings or ascended the throne. Kannauj became the capital of this dynasty during the time of Mihir Bhoja. He extended his empire in northern India. He issued silver coins having mark of Varaha. Varaha is actually an incarnation of Lord Vishnu and he was called as Adi Varaha. The Gurjara and Pratiharas gave great patronage to the learning and literature. Rajashekara, the Sanskrit poet, was having patronage in the court of Gurjaras and Pratiharas. The next kingdom is the Palas. This kingdom was established by Gopala. It means the founder of this dynasty was Gopala around 750 CE. He extended his empire through Bengal, Bihar, part of Odisha and Nepal. Later on, Dharmapala and his son Devpala extended his empire in the present days of Bengal, Kannauj, Odisha, Bihar, Assam, northern India and Nepal. Palas had given patronage to the Buddhist learning and education, donating generously to Nalanda University, which was the major center of Buddhist learning during medieval period. Many people from other countries came to learn in this university. Dharmapala established the famous Vikramshila Buddhist University during this time. Apart from this, they had close trade and cultural relations with Southern East Asia, which added to their prosperity. Well, prosperity means the wealth. It means their kingdom was very wealthy due to economical and trade relation with Southeast Asia. Much later, Rajendra Chola defeated Mahipala in 1023 CE. Rampala was the last ruler of this dynasty. Later on, due to the Khalji invention, this dynasty was declined. Let's know about Rashtrakuta dynasty. The Rashtrakuta dynasty was founded by Danti Durga or Danti Varman in the Deccan region of India, which is presently known as Maharashtra. Well, Rashtra means territory and Kuta means chieftains. So before acquiring their kingdom, their status as a ruling dynasty in Deccan, Rashtrakutas were the chieftains in central India. Their capital was Malkhed or Manakhed, which is nowadays near to the Solapur in Maharashtra. Apart from the tripartite struggle, they were also involved in the constant conflict with Chalukyas of Vengi and Pallavas of Kanchi and the Pandyas of Madurai. This dynasty also witnessed many great rulers like Govinda III, Amogh Varsha and Krishna III. Ellora and Elephanta rock-cut caves like temples were built during the time of this dynasty. The next kingdom is Chauhans. This dynasty was established in 11th century CE and was called also as Chahamanas. Before establishing their dynasty, Chauhans were vassals of Gurjara and Pratiharas. Now, vassals means what? Vassals means a person under the protection of a ruler to whom he owed tribute and military help. It means they had to provide military help to Gurjara and Pratihara kings. Vigraharaj was one of the greatest ruler of Chauhan dynasty who captured Chittor. Later on, Prithviraj Chauhan became the ruler and ascended the throne of Ajmer in 1177 CE. Prithviraj Chauhan was very ambitious ruler. He was very famous for the policy of expansion. His most famous expedition was against the Chandelas of Budelkhands. Well, expedition means movement of army or the journey of army for the war. We can get more information about the expedition and campaigns of Prithviraj Chauhan by the resource that is Prithviraj Raso, which was composed by his own court poet Chand Bardai. He fought against Muhammad Ghori when he invaded India in 1191 CE and 1192 CE respectively, and at last he was defeated and imprisoned after a second battle of Train. So students, we will stop here. Rest of the lesson we will see in the next video. Till then, goodbye.